Somewhat 5 years ago, I started my current position at my employer, and I was trying to figure out a way to design my new role and fit into it and live it and define myself. During that period, I stumbled upon a book by a famous philosopher. That book is the baseline for this session. The book is about how you live your life, how you empathize all the things that are hitting you, and how to come around it. So this is the session. Welcome. I see more than two, so I'm excited. Thank you. This late hour. My name is Brian. I will not enforce you to try to pronounce my last words. I'm a principal and enterprise architect for Fellowmind in Denmark. I'm a fast-track recognized solution architect for Microsoft and a Microsoft certified trainer. So enough of me, I only have 20 minutes, so let's hit it. This is the guy, Dr. James Carse. In the mid-1980s, he wrote a book called, where he, you'll get the title later, where he defined that you have two games to play in wherever you are. Two games of life, a game where you can win, and a game where you can't win. One of the games is a game, a finite game, a game with fixed and known players, fixed rules, and a common and agreed upon objective. An example could be baseball. We all know what baseball is. You hit the ball, play a round of innings, gather some points, and then one of the teams wins. And in a finite game, you also often see people who are losing. Not all the time, but often. The second game you can play is an infinite game. An infinite game is a game with known and unknown players, and players can join every time they want. It has no fixed rules, and the rules can be changeable by whoever is playing the game. And it does not have a common objective, it does not have a common goal, other than one thing: you need to stay in the game as long as possible. This could be, to give you an example, this could be school. No one wins school, right? No one wins education. Yes, you can finish your school and education and hopefully get a good grade out of it. You cannot win business. There's no company in the world saying, I will win this tomorrow. I'll wake up, change these two factors, and then I win. No, they'll just be playing the game. They will stay in the game in order to not win it, but play the game. The school. Very, very often when we are playing the game, either if it's finite or infinite, we very, very often try to compare ourselves to our opponent. In the infinite game, if we try to compare ourselves, then we also tend to move into the finite game, because comparison is also a wish to be better than the other person over there or the other company over there. But to be in the infinite game, we need to remove the comparison and stay in the game, trying to adhere to what is happening inside that game, because the rules can change. If you look at the Microsoft data community, you will see that the speakers and the community members and hopefully some of you guys in the future, if you would like to speak, we are not comparing each other. We are not battling. We are staying in the game, trying to be better every day. And we are not empathizing the entire sphere of the Microsoft data platform. If we would want to do that, then yeah, okay, we wouldn't sleep ever. No, instead we are, perhaps we know a little bit of everything, but we are experts in one or two specific areas. We are helping each other, we are supporting each other, and most of all, we are embracing whoever would like to come in. To play the infinite game, I have an approach for that, an approach with 6 bullets. The first is advance, adjust course. I will get into details about these. Advance, adjust course, build trusting teams, study your worthy rivals, existential flexibility, whatever that means, I'll come back to that, and the courage to lead. So, advance, adjust course. If you have, I hope you are employed somewhere, you have a vision, the company has a vision. If that vision is, we want to be number 1, or we want to beat our competitors, or we want to give the best service to our clients, well, not that it's wrong, but it is not a vision supported by the infinite game. A vision supported by the infinite game is something you can see, you can vision it, but you cannot reach it. It's a look at it as a. I tend to put the word imagine. I imagine myself somewhere in 5 years, or perhaps a company is saying, we imagine a world in which we something. And imagine, when you put the word imagine inside of it, well, then you try to put a picture in front of yourself for a goal. Perhaps you will not reach that goal ever because you are in the infinite game, but you are thriving towards it, okay? This could be an example from a company if they were playing the infinite game to its best. We imagine a world in which the most majority of people wake up every single morning inspired, feel safe wherever they are, and at the end of the day, feel fulfilled by the work that they do. If this was a company, I would be perhaps more interested in hearing about the job opportunity than the general things I see today. Build trusting teams. No matter if you are a business or just an individual, trust is a highly valued thing today. Let me give you an example. A barista at a coffee shop, he's always very energetic. He's fun to be around, and he talks to the clients and customers as they were his family. Why is he doing that? Well, he's doing that because every manager that passes him during the day, not only his line manager, but every manager, asks him, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? What can I do to help you get better? What can I do to help you do your job better? That empathizes me to be, okay, I'm not appointed to look at this error or look at this error, because then we are playing the finite game, right? If you're playing the infinite game, I'm helped to be better. I'm supported to be better. I'm not appointed to what my errors are, right? Study your worthy rivals. These are not competitors, because a competitor can die or stop and so forth. That's the finite game. A rival is just a company or a person that perhaps is on the same path as you, and you look up to them, or you would like to be where they are. Oops, sorry. An example could be that you are looking up to someone and saying, okay, he's doing something that I would like. Then don't try to be him, but mirror yourself in who he is or she is, and try to figure out what he or she is doing that you can do as he is, so you are better tomorrow, right? And when you reach that point, just replace your rivals, because they don't know that you are their rival and the other way around. Just replace them and study the next worthy rival. Existential flexibility. What do I mean by that? Well, let me give you an example. A long, long time ago, not in a galaxy far, far away, but Apple went to Xerox on a very, very secret meeting to see a device. A device, a box with a cable on it, plugged into a computer. It had two wheels, one horizontal, one vertical, and a button. With this device, they could interact with the computer. They could click, they could do stuff with a button. And at that time, Apple were working on other stuff, a completely different material. And when Steve Jobs saw this, he said to his management, we need to stop doing what we're doing and adopt this technology. This was the very, very first prototype of a UI, of a digital interaction with the computer, and a visual user experience for the end user. Before this, we had to write code like Commodore 64, yeah? Or Microsoft Office, yeah, thanks. And yes, when you make these kind of turnarounds, it costs money in some point, but this was actually the foundation for the first Mac. And if you are as old as I, then you know that this Mac was actually revolutionizing the user interference that you had as an end user with a computer. And this was the baseline for also Windows we have today. And you need to be aware that if you are in a position and see something extraordinary and would like to invest in it, then don't be afraid to go there. It could be an amazing journey. And also be aware that if you are, I hope I'm not kicking at one of you guys here, but if you are sitting working at a business saying, I only want to do SSIS packages, that's the only thing I want to do. Well, perhaps in a few years you will have difficulty getting another job. Things are evolving, be prepared to move with the evolution. Courage to lead. No matter if you're an individual or business, if you have the courage to lead, then people will follow. In 5 years back, when I started my current job, 5 years plus, I was nervous and anxious because I was put in a position as a principal architect. What is that? I'm now put in a position where what I say could very, very quickly become law in the business, right? But when I found out that I need just to show that I have the courage to say this, then people started following me. It's the same thing in business. When people or the business are starting to say, we are doing this because we imagine a world in which, then people start following you. How can I implement this in a daily basis without being stressed and I need to be followed, I need to be better today, I need to be better tomorrow? Well, think about this. You are all bright mathematical people. If I'm 1% better tomorrow, then during a year, yes, I'll be 365% better in 1 year. Some years 366% better, but 365% better each year with just 1% per year. It's all the small steps every day that you do that makes a great impact. Those steps can be done by a method called where you, not called anything, but where you start your day with 3 slots. 3 slots, no digital interruption, no Facebook feed, no LinkedIn feed, no phones, no team calls, no Outlook, no intranet, no nothing. You focus on your work without interruption. You do that for 50 minutes. After the 50 minutes, you get a 10-minute break. Go out, get some air, get some sun, breathe, do push-ups, whatever, have some coffee, and do that 3 times a day. That's 3 hours. 3 hours of focused work where you're not interrupted. Yes, you might get 2 or 3 or 5 mails. You might get a missed Teams call. You might get a LinkedIn feed with 10 new posts. Thanks. But I will guarantee you, these 3 hours will be the most effective hours in your working day ever. And I encourage you to start this in the morning, not do it after lunch, but perhaps from 8 to 11 or 9 to 12, whenever you start working. And I will guarantee you that your manager, if you have one, will come back to you and ask, what are you doing? You are effective. You are delivering exceptional quality back to me and my team or my clients. How are you doing that? Well, I have the courage to lead. I'm trying. I have a manager that trusts me. I'm trying to be 1% better today than I was tomorrow. And I know that I'm in an infinite game. I'm not in it to win, but I'm in it to stay in the game in order to be better tomorrow. My name is Brian, Principal Architect of Fellowmind. This was my speech. There is a feedback on your top right, and a SoMe link in the middle. Thank you.